Hey everyone, Robbie the Painter here. Welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd give you a live update on what I'm doing on this chicken feed shed that I'm building right next to my chicken coop so that I have a place to store all the feed and everything to do with chickens. And so I'm building a shed. Last we left off, I was putting some of the panels up, and then I started working on the door and I realized I made a mistake. I ordered the wrong size door. It was too long. It actually touched the ground and wouldn't go up underneath. And so that was my mistake, but I had to try to figure out, how to make it work, or buy a whole new set of doors or do folding doors. I thought about all different things. Anyway, I decided to cut the bottom of the door off and reattach it, glue it. It hangs up there. I want to show you also what I did. I put a 2x6 redwood up here as a header, and then the railing system for the door gets screwed into that. As you can see, here's the door. I stained the middle part of it. It's still a little tacky. This is a stain in the sealer. The wind also caught the door and flipped it off of my sawhorses, and so it's got some marks. I need to clean that up and restain. And then I painted the outside white, and then I attached the rollers. Again, got this rail system, and then I've just been kind of pre-fitting everything. Nothing's really tightened up yet, except for the rail. The rail's tight, but just to see how this rolls. And oh, there's Barney barking. So it rolls very nice. I like it. I'm excited. And then if we take a look, you can tell where I cut off the bottom. These stained panels are shorter than the top. They used to be the same length. And again, this door used to come down and actually touch the brick. I don't know what I measured, but I made the wrong purchase when I bought this door at the length, but I didn't want to send it back, and so I cut it down and I've got it glued here. I'm going to put some steel plating probably on the back side and screw those in to give it strength. It also has a groove at the bottom of the door that fits into a little attachment, like a little V groove that you screw in to the bottom here on one of your boards, and it keeps that door straight. There's also a roller system right here, and that goes in between the doors, so I'll have to get that measured out, and I may have to notch it into the 2x4. I'll get that figured out. And then the roller system keeps that door from swinging in and out, keeps it rolling nice. I'm gonna have to add this 2x4 that I've got laying here underneath here and get that screwed in, and then the door is going to sit directly over this 2x4. So I'm going to be adding another 2x4 to the outside. So the door is going to sit center, and then it'll open that way, and that'll give me access to get into the feed shed, to the metal trash cans that I bought to keep the feed in. And on each side of the door, there'll be paneling. While I'm working on getting all these parts and pieces in place and fit the way they need to, I can also get my plywood paneling for the roof painted on the underside, which will give it a bright look, kind of like I did inside the chicken coop. If you haven't seen that video, part 1, it shows where I painted the underside of the plywood. You don't need to paint the other side. Why? Because there's going to be shingles on top of that. But I'm going to paint the underside white, and got that set up over on the sawhorses. So let's go over there and get those painted up right now. In order to cover the roof on that shed that I'm building for the chicken feed, I measured out the rafters. It's going to take a full sheet, 4x8 sheet of plywood, and then I ripped another piece down to size to cover the distance on that roof. So it's one full sheet, and then they're grooved, and then it's going to fit in, and that'll cover the entire roof. So what we're going to do is paint one side of this shorter piece, and then paint one side of the full piece. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's speed this up so you don't have to watch the whole thing. This plywood is very porous, so it's going to eat up paint really quick, meaning that it's going to take more paint to cover. It is the underside of a roof, so I'm not going to be, you know, usually things bother my eye if it's not perfect, or I try to get it perfect. I just have to let that go. Have to let that go and just realize that I'm not going to cover every little nook and cranny on this type of plywood. This is actually not the plywood that I ordered from the hardware store. They sent me more expensive plywood. It's heavier, and they didn't charge me the price on this, but it's almost too heavy. I'm gonna see if I'll make this work. We're gonna make it work. Just like when I'm doing my oil paintings and we think we make a mistake, and it's like, no, we'll make it work. Always a solution. All right. Again, there's some of these deeper nooks and crannies that are not filled with paint. This is my only gallon of white that I have, and I want to make sure I get this done and this one done. So we're going to move on. We're going to let this dry for a few minutes, come back to it, and move it out of the way, and then get this one painted. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Robbie the Painter here. Just giving you an update on where I'm at on this chicken feed shed that I'm building back here. As you can see, I've got some plywood panels up on the roof, and those are secured down. I also have the barn door hung and made some adjustments on that. Had to do a little bit of modifying to make that work, but I'm hoping today I can get some shingles and the roofing done, and we'll see about that. Let's get a little closer and I'll show you the inside and what I still have to do there. All right, as we're approaching the chicken feed shed, there's the barn door. It's hanging on the rollers in the track, and the track goes across the top. Now I've got a little clamp here so it doesn't close on me while I'm coming in and out and that. But here's the inside of this feed shed. And I'm going to put some of that siding across the back of this feed shed. So all the way across the back, down to the floor, that'll have that siding, the same siding. This stuff right here is what I'm going to be putting on the inside. And hopefully that'll keep the snow and the rain out. And I'll use caulking to seal up the joints and all that. And here's the underside of the roof. Remember when I was painting the plywood panels and that, I said I painted it white to keep it bright inside. I don't know if I'm going to have a solar light inside or not. So that's where I'm at on the feed shed. I'm going to see if I can get some more done today. The weather looks pretty good. There's some construction going on down the street, so you're hearing some beeping and some trucks and that. But did I show you guys? I've got chickens now. I've got 4 hens. I don't know if I showed you those. Let's walk over here. Hi, girls. Hi, chickies. Hi, chickies. So there's Beulah and Bertha. They are called lavender cochins. And then I have 2 buff Orpingtons or Orpingtons, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. That is Agnes, and then Henrietta is right there. So I've got 4 hens, and they're happy. They love coming out to the chicken run out here. I still have to do some brickwork. If you guys followed along with the brickwork, I still have to get that done. But I really want to get that feed shed done first, get one project done. I always, you know me, I start 10 different projects and I do a little here and do a little there. I still got that waterfall project out in the front yard that I need to finish, and I will. I'm just not sure I'm going to get to it this year. I was hoping I would, but anyway, I think you guys are up to speed. Got all my tools out here. So this is coming along very nicely. I love the look of it. And I know it's just a feed shed. It's gonna have metal trash cans in it with the chicken feed, and anything to do. I'm gonna put their pine shavings for their bedding. Everything I can stuff in there and still get in there and you know, turn this way or that way and get to everything. I'll figure out shelving once I get it built. I've got some ideas for the interior on how it's all gonna work, and I'll be able to walk in and actually access that stuff. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see you on the next update and episode. We'll get this thing finished. Bye-bye.